call as the bald eagle's flying away. It's a red-tailed hawk call. Bald eagle's call is not pretty. It's not pretty at all. So unfortunately, we have to re-educate kids when they come to the center. You have a question?
Would you ever tame her and make her feel good?
Good question. In the state of Tennessee and in the state of Georgia, it is illegal to own any native wildlife as a pet. And they do not make good pets at all. At all. She poops a lot. She's got a huge talons, huge beak, not a good pet. Our bobcat, there's a picture of him right there. We've had him a really long time, since he was about 9 months old, and he's 12 now. He was actually stolen from the wild and kept as a pet when he was a kitten. They said, oh, he's adorable, let's take him home. Big mistake. He ended up destroying the house, climbing all over everything, and then he started getting ferocious. They're tough cats. And so luckily, they didn't just put him back out in the woods, because by then he'd become habituated to humans. They surrendered him to a nature center over in Memphis, and we got him from them when he was about 9 months old. He's still very much a wild cat, but he is very habituated too. So, good question.
What's your daily diet for these hawks?
We feed every 6 days. They fast on Sundays, because in the wild they're typically not even going to eat every day. She's going to get a medium-sized rat, which weighs anywhere from 90 to 120 grams. About as big as my hand, roughly. She's going to get that, or she's going to get a bunch of small mice. Natural prey. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you said pellet. Go ahead.
Yeah, what type of nesting do we ever see their nest?
Yeah, she's going to build a nest. Yeah. Matter of fact, we have a red-tailed hawk nest on the property in our Pinetum right now with 3 babies. They're going to be up in the very top of some tall trees, and they do build a good-sized nest. So, yeah, and this is the time of year.
Are the babies really big, or are they about normal size?
They're kind of small. They're not, like this kind of small. They're probably maybe like this big on her, and they're big and fluffy, and they grow really fast. And Daddy, she's going to hang out in the nest with the babies, and Daddy's going to dive bomb, drop in some food, and take off again. Will they return to the same nesting area? Red-tails don't always. American bald eagles do. They return to the same nest every year. Same mate, same nest, and they just keep adding on. A bald eagle nest can be as big as 8 feet diameter and weigh up to 3 tons. They're huge nests. They have to be. It's a big bird. And we actually have a life-size bald eagle nest in the center that's really like a deck. We put big sticks around, and the kids get up in there, and they're little eagles. It's really cute. But it gives you a great visual on just how big the nest is.
When they build the nest, do they make it out of like thorns? Because one time I read that some birds make their nests out of thorns, and then they put down and feathers on it, and that's a big fluff feathers.
Right. Not so much the birds of prey that do that. They're just going to use sticks, all kinds of sticks. And they do line it with feathers. And the great horned owl has what's called a brood patch. And it's a place on her stomach, and she actually pulls those feathers before the eggs hatch, and she'll line her nest with those feathers. And then she's got straight, warm skin to put onto the eggs, and it is so warm, unbelievably warm. Our great horned female will let me feel her brood patch when she pulls her feathers, and it's just a little oven in there. I forgot about that. Well, I have her, I'll show you her pellet. She spit this up the other day, and I thought, dang, that's a big pellet. It actually was one. It broke in 2. So after a bird of prey eats, some birds of prey, hawks, can digest everything but the fur. So if I have a hairless rat, and I feed her a hairless rat that day, I don't get a pellet. But if I feed her a rat with fur, I get a fur pellet. So if we break this apart, Amen. It's all fur. There's no bones in here. So So on y'all's hikes, if you find pellets and you break them apart and it's all fur, you know it's from a hawk. Then, these are actually from our barn owls. I picked these up yesterday too. If you break them apart, there are bones in it. Hawks dissolve the bones in their body. Owls do not. So you can break it apart and you're going to find fur and bones. There's a lot of bones in this one. And we have pellet dissection classes where the kids come in and we buy pellets, believe it or not. We buy pellets that have been cleaned in an autoclave and the kids break them apart and see what that animal's had. Super cool. So if you find a pellet with a bone in it, it's from an owl.
And you can't injure them on the inside.
They don't poop this out and throw it up. This is not poop and throw up. We do some really gross stuff. I always joke, it's Saturday, I'm not supposed to have poop on me. I really don't work on Saturday. But we do some really nasty stuff. But it's just part of the job. It's fun. So thank you for saying pellet. I would have forgotten. Yes, they were telling me that y'all have an osprey platform out here. I'm surprised you don't have more with these nice bodies of water. The male osprey is the one that builds the nest. They have to build a really nice nest to get a good girl. Their nest is yucky, no girl. And a lot of people call them fish hawks because they do mostly hunt fish. They're always around the body of water. Tons of them. Black and white bird. Sometimes you look up and go, oh, bald eagle. No, osprey. Bald eagles don't get their white head until they're sexually mature at about 4 to 6 years of age. Up until then, they're mostly the brownish color. Brownish.
Y'all have bald eagles?
We do have bald eagle. There's a picture. We have female. Hit my car. Broken wing. Okay, I'll put any more questions about Rotail. I'm going to put her up. She's been really good, particularly when she's got a broken chest. She's been great. Next animal I'm going to get out is a snake. Hope I don't have any snake phobias. Cool stuff about snakes. I love snakes. I brought a pine snake today. This is a snake that's under management concern. Have you looked at the case? It's under management concern in Tennessee, and we're not sure if it's because their numbers are dwindling or if it's because they've all burrowed. They're diggers, and we just can't count them. Not venomous. And you said it was a pine, like P-I-N-E? Yes. Isn't he beautiful? When the sunlight hits him, he's almost iridescent. Beautiful snake. Just beautiful. And most people don't see these. That's why I brought him. Most people do not see this snake. If you look at his head's like a little shovel. He is a digger. And he's going to dig in pine fields, where there's pine straw and loamy dirt. You know, he can't dig like the hard packed dirt.
What kind is it?
Pine, P-I-N-E, pine snake.
Why do they do that?
They prefer to be under. They do prefer to be under. Yep, this is native. This is native.
How do we know it's a safe snake?
Okay, yeah, we'll get over all that. I knew snakes would generate questions, that's why I brought one. The first thing we're going to talk about, though, is, all right, we all have to go hunt food. Snakes have got to hunt food. All right, we've got, hands, feet, teeth. We've got weapons. We've got great vision, all that cool stuff. All right, the snake. First of all, his vision's not too good. It's just kind of okay. He can't smell. He cannot hear. He has no legs, no feet. He has really no teeth to speak of, just little bitty teeth. He only has one lung, one really big long lung. The other one is a vestigial lung, just a little big thing that really doesn't do too much. He's got the advantage. We do. So that's why we like to educate They're at a disadvantage. Also, they're ectothermic. Before they hunt, they gotta warm themselves up. They cannot regulate their own body heat. So early in the morning, they come out, they sit in the sun, warm up their body temperature before they can even think about going out looking for the day's food. So they've got a lot of disadvantages. The only venomous snakes in this area are copperheads and timber rattlesnakes. That's it. We have no water moccasins in this area. You've got to go to West Tennessee. One way, if you find a skin that's been shed, one way to know if it's a venomous or a non-venomous, if you look past the vent on the snake, vent is the rear end. If it's a single scale, here's his vent. If it's a single scale down here, it's venomous. If it's double scale, it's non-venomous. You can see he's double scale. That's non-venomous. Don't pick up any sheds. Just don't pick them up unless you know what it is. Typically, but I just don't think this is a good rule of thumb. Venomous snakes have more of a triangular shaped head. Shoot, when they're going by and you get a quick glance, you can't look good enough.
That's a subjective judgment.
Just don't pick them up. Admire them from a distance. The only way you're going to get bitten is if you step on him, you corner him, or he thinks you're food. And the reason he might think you're food is because you smell like a rat. I smell like rats every day. None of y'all do. So typically, you just not get bitten unless you put yourself in that position. So if you see a snake, don't flip out. Admire him from a distance. Don't pick him up. Just enjoy it. They're beautiful creatures. If we did not have snakes, we probably would not be on this earth. These are vermin killers. They eat all the rats and the mice. If we didn't have them around to eat the rats and the mice, think about the plague. Remember when the plague came around? Rats and mice would absolutely destroy humans. They carry all kinds of diseases that can pass to humans. We've got to have these guys around. They do a really good service for us. So if you're in your yard, say, hey, I'm not going to have any mice or rats. If it's a venomous snake in your yard, it might be kind of nice to move him off your property. And so don't kill him. Just respect him. Okay, I know he's going to generate a lot of questions. What kind of snake questions do you have? How big is he? Look how long he is. I'm 5 feet 4 inches tall. He's bigger than me. He's about 6 feet tall. Beautiful snake. Beautiful and big and strong. They are all muscle. This is all muscle down through here, and that's how he moves.
We see a lot of snakes with checkerboard on the bottom.
Okay. Are they mostly black and a little bit of yellow on the bottom?
Does the copperhead have a checkerboard
They
bottom?
can. They can. And they're going to have patterning on their back, and they are a pinky copper color. And copperheads are really, really good at camouflage. Super good at camouflage. When you put them down on the ground in leaves, you cannot see them. So what I tell everybody is when you're walking through the woods, just, pay attention to where you're walking. Look where you're walking before you put your foot down. In this area, what you see a lot of are gray and black rat snakes. That's a gray rat snake, a black rat snake. They've got patterning on their back. It's usually the same color as the snake. It's kind of a tone on tone. They can vary. It can be like a black rat would have a little bit of a gray pattern. They're variable. And they're big. They get really big. Racer. Black racer. And they're fast and they get really big.
Would that snake make a good pet?
I think snakes make great pets. You can't have a native snake as a pet unless you buy them from a legal source. So you're probably not going to find a pond snake at the store. If you want a snake as a pet, I would recommend a rat snake. They're very docile, they're easy to handle. I have a Puebloan milk snake as a pet, and he's beautiful. He's non-native though, he's from the west, but there's a scarlet king snake in this area.